And fresh tension is brewing as Japan seeks to list industrial facilities where tens of thousands of Koreans were forced to labor during Japan's colonial rule of Korea as World Heritage Sites. Our Hwang Sung sat down with CSIS Japan Chair Ma이클그린, who is in Seoul for the JoongAng Ilbo CSIS Forum, for his view on Japan's UNESCO bid and the ongoing historical dispute.
No historical site is pure. I mean, there's always some negative aspect to human history, and I think it would be better for the Japanese side to explain the important significance of these sites in terms of development, and frankly, a development model that much of the rest of Asia copied, while at the same time acknowledging that there was human suffering involved as well.
In a recent interview, you assessed Abe's recent comments positively. Can you elaborate on that?
By acknowledging that Japan, that these women were trafficked, from a U.S. perspective, this is a strong or stronger addressing of the fact that the Japanese people and the Japanese government have some accountability. From an American's perspective, in the country where this word trafficking was developed as a matter of international law, what the Prime Minister said is a step forward. It's not a huge step forward, but it's considered a step forward.
So you don't think that Prime Minister Abe has to necessarily say that the Japanese government was responsible for this human trafficking when he uses the word trafficking?
No, I don't think that the Japanese government's official stance on the comfort women issue is adequate. However, I think there's a view in the U.S., and I certainly have the view, that it has moved in a better direction. Although I should quickly add that on this question of comfort women, Japan has no support in terms of the history. 190 historians in the U.S. signed a letter describing what they thought happened. And I think that's the mainstream view among scholars and experts.
Considering that Abe also needs to satisfy his conservative domestic supporters, do you think it's possible, how likely is it for Korea and Japan to resolve this historical dispute while Abe is in power?
An apology seems very political, and I think a hard target to achieve under the current Japan-Korea relationship. But I think there is room in the next statements in the upcoming anniversaries to get more. And that will require not freezing high-level dialogue until there's a resolution. And since President Park and Prime Minister Abe are not talking directly, there has to be someone very close to each of them who's brave, politically strong, who works on this issue bilaterally.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Dr. Green.
Thank you.